All right, now we're going to cover the carbon cycle. All right, very quickly, here are the words. First, how the cycle works, and then the implications of the carbon cycle. All right, so first, carbon is absorbed by photosynthetic organisms like plants. All right, they are made into carbohydrates, and then animals will get their carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen by eating plants, and that's the source of carbon for the chain. Right, the entire chain down the line. It's either you eat the plant for your carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, or you eat the animal that ate the plant. All right. From there, animals and fungi will go through respiration, okay, and they will release carbon back into the atmosphere. Right now, living things, all of your different kingdoms of life will retain carbon. All right, from your two kinds of bacteria to your fungi to plants and animals. All right, these things will die, and carbon will get buried deep underground. All right, it'll get buried deep underground, and they will come back up through your Earth's geological movements. Okay, geological uplifting, earthquakes, tectonic plate movements. All right, geochemical processes, volcanoes. Okay, so carbon cycles through the planet underground and into the air, the atmosphere, and this takes tens of thousands of years. All right, and that's why the implications of the carbon cycle is that it is theorized. Well, it's usually accepted as fact, all right, but theoretically, all right, it controls the ice ages. Okay, the warming periods and the ice ages are controlled by the amount of carbon either in the atmosphere as carbon dioxide or buried deep underground as your fossil fuels. All right. Okay, let's go over the picture and I'll go more in depth about this. Okay, starting off here in the air, carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. Okay, plants will go through photosynthesis. All right, plants take sunlight energy, they take water, they absorb air, carbon dioxide air, and they turn it into sugars and carbohydrates. From there, plants may turn this into lipids, fats, nucleic acids, DNA, or proteins. All right. However, the vast majority of it gets turned into their carbohydrate bodies. All right, and then plants will make bark, roots, leaves out of carbohydrates, and that's how they will sustain their own bodies. Okay, from here, animals will eat the plant. All right, and that's how animals get carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen to make their bodies, to make their proteins, to make their carbohydrates, to make their lipids, fats, okay, to make their nucleic acids, aka DNA. All right. Now, animals will actually break down the stuff they eat, and they will respire. Respire means to breathe. Okay, so they'll actually break down whatever they eat into their breath, their air. Okay, and therefore, every time you breathe out, you're breathing out carbon dioxide. All right, you're breathing out whatever you ate last night in the form of carbon dioxide. All right, right now I'm breathing out Korean barbecue. Okay, because that's what I ate last night. Okay, now you might think, hey, don't we get rid of what we eat through our anus in the form of feces? That is not totally correct, okay? Whatever your body does not absorb will come out through your anus in the form of feces, all right? So everything your body absorbed comes out as your breath. So one way to think about feces or doo-doo is that it's the leftovers of the food that your body did not absorb. Okay, so we actually do not absorb a huge part of what we eat. All right. Okay, now animals, plants, fungi. All right, your protists, two kinds of bacteria will retain a lot of carbon within their bodies. Okay, now once these living organisms die and get buried, all right, They get buried deep underground. Decomposition will take place. All right, decomposition will get rid of most of the nitrogen, most of the phosphorus, okay, the oxygen. All right, what's left is your carbon. All right, a lot of your carbon and your hydrogen will get left, and if it gets buried with enough pressure, it becomes your fossil fuels. Okay, it becomes coal. All right, gas, oil. Now, if there is even more pressure and more hydrogens and oxygens are gotten rid of, all right, they actually become your purest forms of carbon that we know of, and that would be your diamonds, okay, your graphite and diamonds, okay, and of course from there, these fossil fuels will stay underground, deep underground, for tens of thousands of years. Okay, naturally, they may come back up through geological uplifting, your tectonic plates moving, earthquakes being created, volcanoes, all right, geochemical processes like volcanoes will release this as carbon dioxide, all right. But however, these processes don't happen very quickly, nor do they happen a lot. Okay, therefore, the cycling of carbon, all right, from in the air to deep underground takes tens of thousands of years. Okay, now what have we been doing? We, however, we have been digging this stuff up. Okay, we have been digging this stuff up, and then we have been burning this stuff in factories, in cars, all right? And we dig this stuff up, we burn it, and we turn it back into carbon dioxide gas. Now, think about it this way. How long have we been burning fossil fuels? At the most, I would say about 200 years. Okay? So, we have been doing this for 200 years, and we've been speeding up the process. Okay? Naturally, this stuff takes tens of thousands of years to come back up, all right, and to get into our atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide. Okay, so we are doing in 200 years what should take the planet naturally tens of thousands of years. Now, what is this doing to the environment, to the planet? All right, remember, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. If you put more carbon dioxide in the air, it's like putting blankets over yourself. Okay, you put more carbon dioxide into the air, you place more blankets onto yourself. Eventually, especially if you live in Hawaii or in a place hot, you will overheat. And that's what's happening to the planet right now. All right. Life can actually adapt. Okay, this is a natural process. The planet has been hotter in the past. The planet also has been colder in the past. However, life needs time to adapt. All right. And in the past, life had tens of thousands of years to adapt. All right. Now they have about 200 years plus. So that's what we're doing by burning fossil fuels. We're adding more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere at an increased rate and making it harder and harder for life to adapt. All right. So that's the implications of the carbon cycle right now.